Most people think trying new things is something you do when you're younger. But actually, I think it's one of those things that keeps you alive after 60. Because what I've noticed is when I actively look for new ideas and new experiences, I feel more energized, more engaged, more like myself. And even for someone like me who already does that, I still had a couple moments last weekend that really surprised me. I went to the new Living Expo in San Rafael, California. Now, this is my world. I've been going to events like this for years, and I've also traveled to sacred places like Machu Picchu, Chichen Itza, Sedona, Mount Shasta. So I've always been open to different ways of thinking and healing, especially when it comes to healthy aging and feeling your best after 60. The main reason I went this time was to see someone named Lily Nova. She talks about something called DNA activation, which is really about awakening deeper levels of awareness and intuition and clearing energetic blocks, that we carry over time. Now, I know that might sound a little bit out there to some people, and that's okay. For me, I don't feel like I have to fully understand or believe everything that I hear, but I do think there's some value in being open to different perspectives on growth and on healing. And that's really what drew me there. And then also I wanted to see, what's new in wellness right now. One thing I did was a toxin analysis at a booth called Detox a Lot. And actually they showed me my results right then and there on the screen. And I had several different toxin levels come up. Things like bacterial toxins, chemical toxins, even heavy metals showed up at a moderate to high level. So my first reaction wasn't panic. It was just being open to understanding more. Because I think sometimes we hear things like this and either we go all in or we completely dismiss it and say, forget it. And I'm somewhere in the middle. I didn't feel like I needed to buy everything that they recommended, but it did definitely make me pause and think, what are we actually exposed to every day? And what can we do realistically to support our bodies better? So I'm not walking away with a full detox plan, but I am walking away wanting to know more. I think I'll bring my results to my local health food store and just see what they recommend. And I think part of healthy aging for women over 60 is not ignoring things, but also not overreacting, just staying aware and informed. And then I tried something I had never done before at a new Living Expo. There was a guy with an infrared sauna, and I had a free session. It was like sitting in a sauna room, but they actually zipped me into the sauna. So I'm sitting there all zipped up like a little cocoon, and it got hot really fast. And I could definitely feel my body start responding almost immediately because of the heat. Now, there's a lot of conversation about how these can help with detoxing, inflammation, even pain relief, especially during menopause. And whether I end up doing it regularly or not, it was just really an interesting experience to try. And then I went to the meditation healing room. For the next hour, there was a healing sound session with a woman named Sasha Starseed. She works with sound frequencies and uses her voice as a form of healing. And honestly, she looked like just a normal young blonde girl. And then she started, and it sounded like the jungles of Peru. Her lower tones were so deep, almost like a didgeridoo, and it filled the entire room. And I remember thinking, how is that coming out of that one person? It was incredible. And it wasn't about whether I'm going to do all this all the time. It was just allowing myself to experience something completely different. And there are so many things like this now, even things like sound healing, that we might never experience if we don't stay open. And that's really the point. This isn't just about the New Living Expo, it's about expansion. You don't have to change your whole life to expand. Sometimes it's just about being willing to step into something new, because it's easy to stay in what we already know. But there's so much more available when you stay open. And I really believe part of healthy aging, especially for women over 60, is staying curious. So I would love to know what's something you've been thinking about trying, but you haven't actually done it yet. Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. And if you want to keep following along, keep exploring and trying new things after 60, please make sure you subscribe, because life can be good after 60, but you have to choose it.